Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Do you guys like me? No. Do you do you ever think about though, like how, you think about periods of your life that were like, oh, that was magical, that was awesome, that was like, if I would do anything to go back there. And then if you really think about like the moment to moment reality of that time, you're like, that wasn't that interesting. It was just sort of like, sort of nice. It was just sort of pleasant. It was like cool. Like it was like last weekend was like the first like really spring day here in Chicagoland, and spring always reminds me of the end of the senior year of college, not college, of high school. Mm-hmm. And just like that kind of like, laissez-faire, like nothing's going on. Classes are basically done. You're just kind of goofing off. You're walking around. You got one pant leg and the other one's ripped off and stuff, because I had a pair of pants like that for a while because it was super interesting. And I was like, oh, I'd love to go, but that just the smell of the air, just it feels so awesome. And then you're just hanging out and doing nothing. And like, but there's no like actual memory to any of that. There's no like actual like specific moment or anything like, oh, I wish I could really relive that, but it's just kind of like being there or something.
Because I think it's not about there. I think it's about lost youth. Like, I think it's about,
oh no,
not only you want your youth, but you're thinking about things you can never experience or have again.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of craving those things.
Damn it, you're right. That's really true. Yeah. It's like, I don't care if I'm bored. I'm 17.
Yeah. And your whole life's before you, and you can still experience college and all that stuff. Yeah.
And you can do it right this time.
I was there for this. Yeah, I was there for this, Tommy. You said during high school, said, high school's like, it's like living in Technicolor.
Wow.
What
does that mean by that?
Yeah, well, I think, as opposed to living in black and white, which was, I suppose at that time, 6th grade.
Yeah, it's middle school, yeah.
So I think what you meant was like, that there were like, wonderful and amazing dizzying highs and crippling lows.
Yeah.
But you felt it. No matter what it was, you felt it. Yeah. And you were alive. And it makes me think like, it's like food with MSG.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't really know what's going on in your mouth. But you're like, holy hell, this is like, it's cornstarch and salt and hot. Like, you ever have Takis?
Yeah.
Or like Takis like Takis, flaming hot Takis with Mountain Dew. And it's like, none of it tastes organic at all. But if you don't have that stuff for like a month, and then you go have some Takis or like the chili cheese Fritos, and you're it's like all of a sudden this completely different experience where everything comes alive.
Yeah, or you have a Heath bar out of nowhere. You're like, oh my Lord, there's hundreds of these on the shelf and they're just sitting there. Why aren't people just scooping these things up? Oh my God.
But I hate to be the voice of pessimism, but I mean, that's what I am. But I
Sucks
feel
that
like
you hate it.
You sort of become deadened more and more as you get older, because I think part of the reason is, and you don't experience the highs and lows so much, is because you're not experiencing new things anymore.
Yeah. No,
your eyes are not open to, like, you're not embracing and welcoming and open to all these new things, because now you know what's going to happen and you expect what's going to happen. And now often if something that you're not expecting happens, you're like, I hate being surprised. I will rest of my routine.
Although, I mean, you could choose to have more new stuff in your life, I guess. But like back then, that's just like the natural course. It's like, now I'm being shoved into high school. Everything I've got to do. Oh, I'm on my way to college. Okay, this is all new and exciting. All right.
And everything back then was a step to something unknown. And I feel like now we're in the long decline, where we're in this step where we're trying to make everything more and more known. Yeah.
Yeah. Writing
that limits your different lines of possibility.
Yeah, that's true. But then, Peter, you just gotta make the best of those lines that you do have, those possibilities those like 5 possibilities that are kind of meandering in front of you. You just got to make the best of them.
Well, I think it's like when I first watched Phantom Menace, and you're in like the first 3 minutes, and you're like, wow, this is incredible. There's a scroll and
away.
This is incredible. And then I'll never forget, I was sitting in the seat and I went, it's got to have been an hour by now. I don't know. I don't have a watch, but there's so much movie that has passed. When is this going to become good?
Yeah.
That's where you are. You're halfway through the movie and you're like, think of all the things they could have done. Why?
I feel like that's what people listening to our podcast are always saying about this point. When is it going to become good?
Yeah. They're
The
just
answer
talking
is,
about
it is
being
not.
old. Yeah, this is what you get.
Well, I think also with you, Tommy, specifically, that last semester's senior year, I think the joy for you was actually not having responsibility.
Oh, God, yeah.
So if you can't remember one specific thing that you want to relive, it wasn't about that. It was like, I don't have anything pressing on me for many months.
So you and I would spend months and months philosophizing about, like, what is it about, you know, we met each other at camp and basically met each other at camp and like hung out at camp like 1 week a year. And what is so amazing about that place? I can't put my finger on it. Like at the end of the day, you're like, you're on vacation, stupid. You're on vacation. You have no responsibilities. The only options are fun, meaningless, responsibilityless fun. And what's to figure out? It's awesome.
Well, they took away the main things, and Las Vegas does this too. They take away the main stressors in life, which was money, and time.
Right.
Yeah, that's
so like in Las Vegas. Yeah, in math, Las Vegas, like time is irrelevant. 4 a.m, 4 p.m, and essentially like money is irrelevant too. It's all play. Just play money. I just won $280.
Yeah,
neat. Yeah,
I'll buy Boardwalk. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the key. Oh, hi everybody! It's Anything Goes.
Yeah. That's a good question, by the way, Tom.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been kicking that around for a while because my son's going to be a senior in high school one of these days, like 4 years.
Is it hard not to just shake him every morning and be like, you have to appreciate this day?
Write down everything. Yeah.
Well, that's the famous, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And you don't understand that saying until you're our age.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's like
I should like fake a thing. Like I should fake like a letter that I wrote to my future son in like my senior year of high school or something. Like, here's what you're not paying attention to. You know, Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. Just appreciate it.
Let's not go overboard.
I know exactly. I don't know why that popped into my head. It's just a actual detail. But I am. All right. We are here to thank everybody. We're all here to talk about Star Wars more, but we're also here to thank everybody, all those beautiful patrons who are supporting us through not only our middle age, but also through this hiatus that we're still on. But we want to thank all the beautiful people like 2-1 Beckett and Andrew with 2 A's and Temba, their arms open. And Airport wants to know where Jerry stands on the whole listening to Firesign Theater thing.
Tommy, I'm going to let you field that for me.
I was... There was a time where I wasn't sure that we were all going to be recording together this intro, and I figured I could field this one pretty easily. Yeah. Jerry has no knowledge of Firesign Theater at all. It's been huge for me, but from another aspect of my life and other friendships, and it has not touched his life at all, which is, I guess that makes sense. I don't think there's like another, close nearby quantum reality where things just twisted a little bit and he got super into it. I just don't think it's quite, I don't think it's quite up his alley. Yeah.
Huh. Well, you, that's why I had you field that.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there anything you'd like to change or
Nah,
add? or-
that's as close as I'd like to get to that alternate reality. I just it's like the moment of creation. Almost touched it. That's it.
All right. You still have time. Pete's gonna love it, and then we'll both get you into it. No, we're not. We also want to thank Brady and Brent from That Small Moon. Thanks, Brent. And and Brian and Carson and Chewy has a barrow in the marketplace. Mala is the singer in a band, and Christopher and Cubs fan and Curtis and Dan and Darth Patreonis asks, if you had the chance, what weapon from sci-fi, fantasy, or video game would you want to try in real life?
Wow.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
That's really good.
Um,
I mean, obviously, the first thing you say is lightsaber. You
I
want to try a
feel like that
lightsaber.
you can't. That couldn't not be the answer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pick something other than that because that's
But
everybody's
everything else is just
answer.
like a variation on a gun. It's like a gun that shoots yellow,
Yeah.
yellow light,
Oh.
or a gun that shoots.
Although if you go to video games, what about the things that like there's a bunch of versions of this in Smash TV, the things that rotate around your head, like they rotate around your body, like
Oh,
either firing
wow.
with you or they just pop the
Yes.
other guys in, like with these blades or something. There's like a bunch of versions of those. Because they could like walk around in real life, accidentally killing people and chopping down trees, and sorry, I didn't. It's like a 10-foot radius. I'm sorry, it's really hard to control.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God! Smash TV is so great because each weapon is so satisfying. There's
Yeah.
like remember that big thick missile that just takes everything out that's in its way. Yeah. And then there's the rifle that's kind of like a strafer. It just shoots everything that's like from 180 degrees in front of you. I mean, I feel like that all the time. I'd say, you know what I would like? I would like to have that one creature that you ride at the sort of the beginning of Golden Axe, where you
Oh.
flip around and the tail trips people.
Oh, right.
You like get on top of it and ride it. It's kind of like a medieval dinosaur looking thing, kind of
Yeah.
with a saddle.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like that, and it just like you switch the lever and it just trips. It just trips people.
That's not bad.
It's been a long time since I read it, but is it in Jonathan Strange and is it Dr. Norrell or Mr. Norrell, where they use basically mirrors as weapons?
Oh, really? I don't know.
Wow.
Well, they're like portals, but you can therefore use it as a sneak up on people, or you can.
huh.
Wow. That's cool.
That sounds like a Medusa type vibe.
Right.
Mirrors as weapons.
That's actually not a bad thing. Just turning people into stone by looking at them.
Yeah.
That's not a bad answer.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well done, Darth Patreonis. As usual. We also want to thank Dave and Guy Wearing Headphones and Doris and Eric Jack, a.k.a. Lucky Mustard.
Well, and I just want to say, we talked about this before, but Doris is, I just recorded with her on the American Graffiti podcast
nice.
they're doing. Yeah, one song at a time.
Yeah. I will
is
be,
very
are you allowed to say what song you did?
I did, well, sure, I'll say what song I did. It was the, God, is it the Monettes? The, I wonder.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah.
Book of Love.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be recording with them in the future.
Wait,
Kind of a while from
Pete,
now, but
do
we're-
the
I'm in
you
the
you
books.
said it. Do the do part.
I can't do it.
It's really weird. It's effective.
Yeah.
I
That guy's
wonder,
voice.
wonder, hoop,
Sounds
yeah, he got
like a huge nerd or something. I wonder. Or like an old
the
man
rest
or
of it's
something.
the rest of it's great, but the guy goes kind of reaches into his silly chord.
Yeah. He's daffy. His eyes are crossed when he's singing that. We also want to thank
I'm still
Eric.
trying to figure out Lucky Mustard, but when I look up Lucky Mustard, it just shows up as mustard available at Lucky supermarkets. So,
yeah. Everybody, head to your supermarket,
local
your Lucky
Lucky's
supermarket.
and, get some
grab some mustard in the name of Eric. We also want to thank Eric. This is Eric with a K, who's not associated with mustard as far as we know. Our old friend Eric. We want to thank Fables of Falbus. We want to thank Febo and Father David and George Leroy Tire Biter, which is something that Jerry will never laugh at because he doesn't listen to Firesign Theater. And Pete politely does so far, but he doesn't listen to it yet. So
yeah,
one of these days. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I think Jim O'Kane is right that you should listen to side B of How Can You Be in Two Places at Once When You're Not Anywhere at All first, because that is a more sort of straightforward, single, linear story in the vein of like a old-timey radio, Philip Marlowe kind of thing.
Cool.
You might dig it.
Yeah. Marlowe, so.
Yeah. We also want to thank Guy who gives Dietrich a melon. Guy who gives Dietrich a melon asks, what is the most memorable line of dialogue in any indie movie? Holy smokes.
That's it. Holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes. Wow.
Wait a minute.
Into the great unknown, I go first.
Oh, that's really good.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that one.
I have two that do you want to talk to God? Let's go talk to him together. I got nothing better to do. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so is, we debated it on the show, like the meaning of it and how much it doesn't make any sense, but I really love Nothing Surprises Me, I'm a Scientist. And the way it's delivered, I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the the one in the bar. You want to go talk to God? I got nothing
Yeah.
better. Yeah. That's. I mean, there's so many to choose from.
No, you don't have to choose. It's going to be all right.
Yeah. It's got
Just something to gnaw on. Yeah.
Wait, we were just talking about one in Crystal Skull. What was?
A really good line in Crystal Skull?
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of something else, I think. I sincerely like his what is this thing when he's holding the skull for the first
that's
time.
great.
And he's just blown. He's just what? He's just like unabashedly just weirded out and delighted.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I like in Crystal Skull when he goes, "Come on."
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
He's like, you kind of like, you believe
Shut
this
up.
stuff? Yeah.
Get out of town. We also want to thank Hillary. And we want to thank I Find Your Lack of Faith Alarming. We already answered this, but inquiring minds want to know, what is your science fiction book? And I'm still poking at that thing.
Nice.
The League of Nearly Useless Powers, or the Nearly Useless Powers League, whatever I decide to call it. Speaking of senior year in high school, it takes place in high school.
There you
so
go.
do I.
Yeah.
Yeah. No surprises here. I'm going to disturb the ark, Renee. We also want to thank him. It's our friend Jerry Porter. We want to thank Indy 5, Travels with Indy, and John Steinbeck. Wow.
Wow.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be really good.
I can see that.
Where would Charlie
That could-
sit?
Yeah.
Yeah, in his lap. Yeah. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
God, we want to thank, is this the last elephant joke from catandshawn.org/jokes?
Well, let's
Oh,
hope.
God,
not.
I don't know. Pete, get into the Cat and Shawnatron.
Here we go. Why
I
Coming
know what
through the
that
wire.
video game was. You know,
Is that
You did-
Domino Man?
is
It was right next to Tron at Arnie's Arcade in Westport, Connecticut. And yeah, that's all I know about Domino Man. Is
wait, Pete, is there? I have a question. What video game can you do a perfect mimicry of?
Oh boy. Funhouse.
Oh my God, I was just going to do
Wow.
Funhouse. It's hysterical. I thought we were pals.
You can have it back. Well, but
Rise
no,
from your grave.
Altered Beast.
Yeah, I hated that game.
I know you
hated
did. I
Altered
always
Beast.
liked it.
It's depressed the hell out of me. Something really gross and gummy about it.
Wizard needs food. badly.
Don't shoot the potion.
I didn't.
It was
That's
the
how
other
it
guy.
worked. Yeah, exactly.
Catch special weapon to increase performance.
Wow, that's good to Road Blaster. What about Pete? Can you make the noise when you die in Tempest?
God.
I don't even remember what that noise is.
It's isn't it just?
Kinda, yeah, but there's a little bit of like there's a little more like a barrel to it too at the
Yeah.
same time or something.
So is
but
it
then
different-
there's
is it
nothing. It's just
different than
silent
that?
when it sucks you in,
Yep.
which is creepy.
Can you make the asteroid, like the original Atari asteroids, blowing up an asteroid sound? That's like a.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Oh,
a
that was good.
rumble.
Actually,
Oh,
that
thank
sounded
you.
kind
I
of
was
like a
clearing my throat.
Defender.
Oh, that's right. Or like a missile command.
Yeah, missile. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, they
of,
all
yeah.
had like, 5
Yeah.
sounds they could use.
Yeah,
It was sound 3.
yeah.
Oh, did the Jokomatron come up with
Oh, yeah,
any
yeah.
results?
Why don't elephants like martinis?
Oh wait, it's gonna be like.
One of these times, Jerry's gonna just stumble upon it when he says, "Wait, it's gonna be like."
Yeah.
I doubt it's today.
It's gonna be something about like. I don't know, because they
Why
don't.
don't they like
you know,
martinis?
it's gonna be like. Because I love you, or I love you, or
Yeah, because
Olive.
Oh, you're on the right track. It's.
Oh God.
Did you ever try to get an olive out of your nose?
Wow.
I like the long delay.
and then silence like the death
Yeah.
of Tempest.
Yeah. Exactly. We're all getting sucked down.
Oh, this-
Wow. Yeah, there's something unsatisfying about that one. That wasn't as fun. I feel bad now. I feel like I just played Altered Beast. I'll be all right.
Wait, do the real quick. Do the cry of Cubert. And then-
That was him jumping around. All right, get me out of this. It's Jonathan. We want to thank it's Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan, for getting us out of that. We also want to thank Jasmine and Jasmine. And Jay now covering Deep Blue Sea 2, scene by scene.
Nice.
There you go, Jay. Congratulations. We also want to thank Jeff and John and Joshua, Inexorable Tash, and Lori and Lewis the janitor. Thank you, Lewis. Doing a beautiful job. We also want to thank Mark, and Mark meeting you asks what English words sound funny to you, but in reality is not. Wow.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
lot.
I have a perfect example. I just I just posted a picture on Facebook. It was the anniversary of finding out that we were going to be, whatever, sequestering and I forgot staying at home. My son wasn't going to school. I wasn't going to work. So it was like a year anniversary, and I posted the last picture I took before that happened, and it was a picture of Pepperidge Farm pumpernickel bread, and it had the label "Dark Pump." And that right now it's making me laugh. Just the phrase "dark pump," the word "pump," for some reason just sent me into peals of laughter. And I took a picture of it a year ago, and I'm still laughing about it now. And the word "pump" is not necessarily funny, but it's very funny.
There's tons of them. Like
Oh, there really are. Yeah.
moist,
Moist
moist.
penis. Yeah. Your sister, Professor Christy Porter, she could have been a linguist because she realized she had like the formula down of like,
Oh yeah.
if you have a long 2 syllables and the first syllable has a long vowel sound and the second one has a short vowel sound or something like that.
She calls it the ugly word rule.
Pupa.
Yeah, pupa. Penis is one of them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's brilliant.
Pupa.
Creamy.
Oh my god.
Milky. Duty. Every time somebody says duty, I giggle a little bit.
Or like I guess beaver.
Yeah.
But
a
you know
good
what? The V makes up for it somehow. It makes it kind of, it makes it feel like you start it and then you get past the V and you're on the other end of it.
Yeah. You kind of run out of steam. You're like,
This is a mess. I mean, we could do this all night.
Get us out of here. Matt Rose. Oh, we want to thank Matt. We want to thank Matt. We want to thank Matthew. We want to thank Michael and Mom Teremi and Drew and Natalie and Natsuki Best Doki. And Neil says, pop quiz, hot shots. Which actor has been in the most movies directed by Steven Spielberg? Oh, my God.
Whoa.
It's going to be like Tom Hanks.
I was going to
It's gonna be
say, it's
something-
going to be
oh,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks.
But it might not. It might be like the guy who played Tom Hanks's chauffeur or something. You know, like it might be some like random, be like Robert's Blossom or something. It'll be like,
Yeah.
wow.
That's,
It's too
that's
bad I don't have a
tough.
computer in front of me. Actor.
Well, I feel like that, like, it was a pop quiz, you hot shots, and we're cold
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like
We are.
tepid,
No, we're accepting defeat. Unless, really?
tepid shots.
Wow.
What?
Do you want to know the
The
answer?
Sounds
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
shock
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Is it, who is the one he was married to? Kate Capshaw?
It is not Kate. I think she's only been in one.
Yeah.
I thought you'd sneak in or something, you know.
Drew Barrymore. It's going to be a shocker. No,
No.
it's not going to be Drew Barrymore.
Who is it?
Let me make sure.
Jonathan K. Kwan.
I want to make sure
He's
I have
got
the
a
answer
4.
correct because this is a very annoyingly. This will all be cut out. Oh yeah, I think this is the right answer. It's a guy named Harrison Ford.
What has he been in other than?
What?
He's been in 4 Indiana Jones movies, and that's it. Unless you count his role as the principal in E.T. and the E.T. and the Extraterrestrial.
Wow.
And
Oh, I
like,
forgot about the principal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom Hanks is apparently in 3.
Wow.
Is that it? No, 4. He's like, I don't, God, you know what?
So Harrison Ford makes it
Come on,
if
Internet.
you do the principal.
I think he makes it with, what, has Tom Hanks been in more starring roles for Mr. Spielberg?
Well, no, you said because you said Tom Hanks had 4, and you said Harrison Ford had 4, unless you
Yeah.
count the principal thing.
This sucks.
Yeah, I bet it's Harrison Ford. Neil wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, I
he's
think it's
trying to
Harrison
trick us.
Ford.
Yeah.
And I can't get a straight answer from the dumb internet.
No,
I mean, the first thing that came up was Harrison Ford, but it was an article that led to, you know. All right.
Want to increase your penis?
Yeah. Click
Yeah,
here as
okay,
often as you
okay.
can, and you'll find out about a movie that Tom Hanks wasn't in.
Yeah, exactly.
Your penis will stay the same size. Genius. Have fun. Thanks, Neil. We also want to thank Nicholas and none but Nunbelievable and Orange B. Cooper and Patrick and Raiders of the Lost Hatch, speaking of, and Robert and Runebot, Techno Union Rep, and Sasha and Scott Roseanne. Hey, Scott.
Hey.
And Sean and Snoke 'em if you got 'em.
That's good.
Somebody won. We also want to thank Steve and Stina and Sully Baseball and Tears for Veers and the Carlisles and the Wilder Ride and Tierney and Tim and Timmy Bricks. And Trinko has been and always shall be one of those mistakes you made in your 20s.
Is that what
Very
it
nice.
says?
Yeah. We also want to thank Vibrant Visionaries with Heidi Bennett. And we want to thank what are Jerry's favorite drum tracks and would he consider doing videos where he demos them?
Wow.
Just off the air, Jerry was bemoaning how crunched and busy and manic he is right now.
Well,
Just go make some videos, Jerry, real quick.
my favorite drum tracks. There'd be too many to list here. What's interesting about listening to great drum tracks is that, obviously you have your favorite, drummer. Like, I grew up with Neil Peart, and so there's millions of those, and it's great. And Stuart Copeland's insane and creative and terrific, and Alex Van Halen and Art Blakey and Kirk Covington and Joey Barrett, all that. But every once in a while you come across like a song and you're like, God, the drums on this are incredible. They've always been incredible. I didn't know who did it, and sometimes it's Phil Collins. But what's interesting is that, like, what's interesting is I have a good buddy of mine who's been sending me, he's done like these lists of sort of different session drummers, like, and he compiles lists of great drum tracks of these drummers. And you're kind of like, oh, I had no idea. And there's like Andy Newmark, who's on like, you like, I don't know, like some Joe Walsh stuff. What's that song that's like, In the City?
Oh,
It's a great. There's like an amazing. That's a great drum track. That's just sort of a song that you might like or maybe don't like, but it's not something that you usually necessarily put on. Like, that's my favorite song, but the drums on that incredible. There's tons of great drum tracks. Keith Moon, obviously John Bonham, but I mean the thing is, the drum tracks where you know who it is playing by what they're laying down. That's what I would say is kind of like the real magic, where you go, this sounds like it's blank. Or you recognize that, you go, this is, Bernard Purdy, or this is Hal Blaine. And you know it because even though they're not listed, you're like, that guy has such an identifiable or inimitable tone and sound that it's him. And then you later find out it is. Somebody sent me an interesting one the other day. Is it Dusty Springfield? Like, the only one who could ever reach me, but was son of a preacher. And I was like, who the hell is it? And the guy, my buddy, compiled it, and I can't remember the guy's name, but I mean, whoever that is, that's an incredible drum track.
Huh.
There's tons of them out there, but I don't know if I don't want to say the word the problem with social media and Instagram and YouTube and the internet. I don't want to take it that far, but it's a great learning tool. Like, if you want to see how to play Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin, there's 1,852 lessons out there how to do it. And many, many of them are really good. But I don't know, with that being the case, I don't feel necessarily compelled to jump on YouTube and show people how it's
Look
done.
at me. Yeah.
Yeah, I like playing the songs, and I would hope to emulate either the emotion or the panache or the verve that some of the people who are doing that, but I wouldn't say I'd be the best, like, emulator in terms of, like, so let me show you how this guy did this. Mm-hmm. That's a whole bag of tricks and a whole talent unto itself. I mean, playing with Dick Dale, I got a lot of, you sound like you're channeling Keith Moon. And it was like, yeah, I mean, to some extent, that was the palette of that gig and the color. That was where I was coming from. But that doesn't, and I appreciate it because I love Keith Moon, and so that made me happy. But I wasn't like, I don't know if I'd do a video on here's how you play like Keith Moon. Mm-hmm. There's millions of people who do that, and a lot of them do a great job already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to make you do it. If you're scared, that's cool. If you don't think you're up to it, that's fine.
I mean, I would say if anybody's asking that question, it's fun to do that. Come up with your own beats and put them out there. Like, I mean, there's, it's great to have covers and emulate emulate your heroes and that stuff, but it's really also, that all should ultimately be a tool to help you get to your own beats and your own grooves and your own patterns and your own distinctive sound, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Well said. All right. But last but not least, we got to thank Zaction.
Zaction.
Zaction! Exclamation point. Well deserved. But yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any drum
That's
videos from
great.
Jerry, but you are going to get some nice conversation from the three of us about this movie called Star Wars.
There we go.
Here we go. Cut into sublight engines.
So we've just taken our first step into a larger world, which leads us into the Death Star conference room, or I don't know if maybe it's Tarkin's office, but there's like a big globe on the conference table,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out is this an artistic representation of the Death Star, or is this something else? Is this like a phone
It projects stars on the ceiling when it's night, when it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And it helps you sleep.
planetarium?
Yeah. That's a good question. I was wondering that conference room looks so well vacuumed.
Yeah.
It just looks
They're
like you
tidy in the
wonder.
Empire.
Yeah, you just kind of wonder. And is that the main like throne room? Or is that just like is that like the is that like the Festiva room at the Holiday Inn? You know?
Yeah.
The Hollingsworth.
Yeah, like we saw like on the
room.
next Death Star, the Emperor had that big throne room.
Yeah,
Which wasn't that
Mm-hmm.
much of a throne room. But, I wonder if he had one on this one. We just never saw it.
but yeah, I'm wondering, is this a conference room or is it his office?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being Tarkin's. Although I don't know,
Yeah.
like he doesn't have a desk. Like, is that whole thing his desk, and then everybody sits at his desk? I don't know.
that might be
I feel
weird.
like it's a
Maybe-
conference room, although it would be pretty badass if it was his desk.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that you take Hot Wheels and you like it's like the table's kind of this really perfect
Yeah.
shiny glass,
Yeah.
and you play the game Black Ice. You can do, like you try
Yeah.
and make the Hot Wheels skid on the black ice.
I was
Or
gonna
can you
win,
imagine
but I
if,
went off the edge.
like an Evil Knievel stunt cycle would be amazing on this.
Oh, it would.
One of the best toys I ever had.
Yeah, that
Oh,
might be
for
the
sure.
thing
That
I
was a
have.
toy that delivered.
It really
Yeah.
did. You know what's one of my
Yeah.
greatest regrets?
over-delivered.
I was in a Toys R Us in Chicago in like, I don't know, 1998 or something, and they had that. They like had reissued
What?
it as like as the thing, and I didn't buy it. And
Oh,
I've been kicking myself ever since. Now I could probably
Hey,
get
you
it for
know,
like
it was.
$300.
I had like 3 of them,
Wow.
and you'd pull the ripcord, and they'd
Uh-huh.
run off, and there was a ramp, and it's like,
Oh, that's not
you
the
know,
one I had. I had the
Yeah,
I
they
had
had
the
two-
crank
yeah,
one.
the-
You put it in the
yeah, they
base
had
and
the
you
both
crank
kinds.
the thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I think the
that's right.
ripcord might not have been evil. That
It
might have
probably-
been a knockoff.
It was. That was.
That might have been like
evil.
Action Jim or something.
Nefarious Knievel.
Ne'er do well Knievel.
Ursat's Knievel.
Watch him. He's got a ripcord.
That makes sense though. That wasn't evil Knievel.
The ripcord was easier to use because you had more control.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the cool thing about it is, so no matter where it went or how it went, it almost always landed driving, like upright. The way I don't know if they
Yeah.
weighted it or what.
They did. It was really heavy on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so it could do
Yeah.
flips and stunts, and you're like, oh, they lost it this time, and no,
Yeah,
it
it
still
was
land.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
He knew what
amazing.
he was doing, even in toy form.
I have a question when they come out of hyperspace.
No, wait a minute.
Oh,
Oh,
was
yeah,
that
we-
before? Am I jump? We're not
You're
through
jumping.
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
You're jumping
okay.
out of
I'm
hyperspace
jumping.
too
All right,
soon.
go ahead. Jumping out of hyperspace.
The guy
yeah.
comes in and he says,
The guy with the voiceover guy.
"Yeah, the voice. Yeah, the guy and his voice come in." And he's like, "Yeah, we just checked out Dantooine, and they found the remains of a rebel base, but they estimate that it has been deserted for some time." And every time I hear that line, I'm like, "That's got to be the laziest estimate that like if you ask somebody like, how long? Just give me a ballpark estimate. How long do you think this has been deserted? Some time." Some time, maybe. I want to say like a period of time. Just ballpark. Don't hold me to that.
Well, this raises a
Thanks.
question, something that we will see, in these next few minutes, how diligent is the Empire?
Oh, there's a guy coming up that's really not
Right.
like yeah. I think we're gonna.
Yeah.
Like if you had to, like, do they have? Is it like a morale thing, where it's just nobody? They're like, I don't really care, or is it sort of infectious? Like, I don't know. Well, Harry said it had just been deserted for some time. I don't know. I
Yeah.
could probably go to lunch now.
Yeah.
Right. Or is it like overconfidence? Like, yes, nothing escaped our notice. You
Yeah.
know, we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
whatever we did was perfect.
Or
Well, I
was Lucas
wa-
writing the script couldn't think of a space word for like a number of like a unit of time.
Right. Yeah.
They do. Remember the
72
guy? That,
yards.
remember the? There goes another one. Hold your fire.
Yeah.
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 No life forms aboard, and you're like, why didn't? I mean, they had a beat on it. I mean, I assume if you're the Empire, lasers are free.
Right. You really want to go
Yeah.
through the effort of pressing that button.
Yeah. Or this one's
Lunchtime.
locked. Let's move on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
This
That's the way we're
one's-
getting in there. Why would somebody try to hide something behind a lock? Just keep going. Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, it's 5 after 12.
Yeah, come on.
Punching out.
Let it be Lowenbrow, will you? Let's go.
That guy's voice is complete low and brow. Like that voice does not match anything else in Star Wars.
Yeah. I think
Like, it's
wasn't the
hilarious.
deal that like George Lucas just knew a bunch of like California DJ guys, like radio
I
guys.
think so. Yeah.
Like he
And
used
this
them
is
in
a total-
THX and he used them in here. Like
Yeah.
they all sound fantastic, but they don't sound
This
like
one's
they
a
look.
total radio guy. Like this doesn't
Yeah.
sound at all like. Yeah, this guy.
Coming at you from Tatooine. That's been for some time.
But then Tarkin's. I don't understand why Tarkin is so shocked. He's like, she lied.
Yeah, what?
She lied to us.
I asked her. She looked me right in the eye and said
Yeah,
Tatooine.
Hey,
Oh
you
my
know, I
God.
love that exchange because he goes, she lied to us.
Yeah.
And Vader goes, I told you.
Yeah.
yeah.
She would never consciously,
Yeah.
And he does my favorite thing in the entire series.
Oh, I know it.
My
I know it.
absolute favorite thing that
know
I
it.
have, I'm not asking them to, but I'm amazed that they have not fixed that in all the 17
yeah.
special
Yep.
editions they've done in this movie. I
Yeah.
actually got on Disney Plus today and went to that scene just to make sure that they finally hadn't painted it out or something, and they have not. Vader's standing there, and Tarkin's walking towards him, and I guess they just couldn't cut to Tarkin because Tarkin's standing in the next shot.
Yeah.
So they couldn't cut away yet. They have to wait until Tarkin stops, and in that time, as Vader's saying, "I told you she'd never consciously betray the rebellion," he like takes out his hand and just kind of goes like he's just
It
like,
looks like he's trying to. He's trying to work his courage up to tell Tarkin something.
yeah, like she wouldn't
yeah.
consciously do it, you know? It's like,
No,
it's
you
at
know
the
what
tip
I
of my
think he's
tongue.
trying to do? I think he's actually trying to use the Force to tickle Tarkin.
Oh yeah,
And it's not working. He holds his hand up and he gesticulates, and just like he would trying to choke the guy with the lemon.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, he's just kind of like trying to use the Force to do something.
yeah. Mess up his
Tommy,
hair.
you and I used to be very inappropriate
Oh, sure.
with our. If you could use the Force to choke somebody,
Uh-huh.
imagine the other things you could use the Force to do.
I made that guy fart.
He used to tickle. You used to do a little like with your fingers.
That's exactly what he does. We're not gross. Darth Vader's gross.
Imagine you see all the mailman go by. Just use the Force. You start like grabbing that. You know, he thinks it's a dog biting him or something. You just grab at his ankles. You just like lightly blow into the wind, and it's just a breath on his ear.
The Force is awesome.
So
Yeah.
Tarkin's terminate her immediately.
Yeah.
Is this an overreaction?
I think, she was,
Like if you
Weren't they gonna
think
do that
she's
anyway?
lying, then it seems like she would know the location. Like it seems odd that he's like kill her, right? Like it seems very emotional for him.
yeah.
Like it seems
It
like
is.
he's making a
I
decision.
I think he's
just
kind
out
of, he's already said, I'm going to ask this for the last time. You know, he kind of
Yeah.
knows he's gotten everything out of her that he's going to, which is nothing, you know, like he was threatening
Yeah.
her planet and she still lied to him and everything. And So maybe he's feel like, you know what, this isn't worth the time.
It's
Do you
interesting.
think
Now,
he's really gonna kill her?
Yeah, I guess so. She is
Yeah,
scheduled
he
to be
looks pretty
terminated
angry.
then. Yeah.
He is a little.
He looks like an angry skull. He looks like an actual skull.
Well, the real irony is that he just spat out like a few minutes back. You're far too trusting.
Right.
You're like, dude,
Yeah. She actually was.
Yeah.
she lied to you, and you just stood up with your, triangular pants and said she lied to us. It's like, come on, with your
Threatened her
indignation.
whole planet, and she wasn't level with me. That's really rotten.
Right.
Can't trust anybody anymore. Oh yeah, you want to talk about the Falcon coming out of hyperspace?
Yeah. So when it comes out and it's in that like tunnel thing, is that ice?
No, it's space and time and
What? Yeah.
hopes and dreams and
Whatever that is, I want to sleep surrounded by that.
Yeah,
it is
that'd be
so
awesome.
Yeah.
soothing.
Looks like
how did they not make a
color and
hyperspace
it's-
sleeping bag that's just like that?
Yeah.
If you stick your head in it, it's just like that. It's
Yeah.
lit up.
And no one can bug you because you're in hyperspace.
Yeah, sorry. You have to wait until I come out of hyperspace.
Like you're completely safe and cozy and
Yeah,
secure. Yeah.
that'd be really awesome.
How does Han know that Alderaan was blown away? Because like he doesn't think the Empire did it at first.
Right, but he knows that it's A, not there, and B, there's all
Yeah.
these rocks everywhere that aren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, all right.
Well, the rock thing is weird. Like, I think it's weird that he has to stand up behind his chair and turn around to turn off hyperspace.
Right.
It seems like a really
You wanna
bad
be
design choice.
Sitting down with your seatbelt on when you do that.
Yeah. Also, like talking about that blue light outside of the Falcon, the blue switches or buttons on the wall are gorgeous. They're like this indigo. Man, the colors are incredible.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like the special effects here, the practical effects are amazing. Like it looks like the debris is moving in like 8 different directions.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
it is nice. They knew what they were doing.
But yeah, then they come out. Like, why does he? Well, he knows where they are because they can take a star measurement. Like they could take a star reading and say we're exactly at this spot.
Yeah. Like he knows where they are and where Alderaan's supposed to be, and it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole sequence of them like coming out of hyperspace, not finding Alderaan, and the TIE fighter shows up, and all the way to them getting captured is maybe my favorite, like literally my favorite sequence in the movie, and maybe
I love it.
Maybe the trilogy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like what the heck's going on? An intercut with like shots of the Falcon and shots of the TIE fighter and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like this kind of like, I don't know, almost staccato kind of like dialogue space, and it's really, really cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching this and I had the same feeling. And you see these images that are just so iconic. I don't know. Like you see the Millennium Falcon and you're like, I'm not sure where the light source is coming. It's illuminated.
Yeah.
And you're like, I guess it's flying by a star, sort of.
Actually, what would be illuminating the Millennium Falcon at this point? Like, well, no, I guess the sun would still be there, but it would be pretty far away.
Yeah, how
I don't
close
know.
to the sun do you have to be illuminated? Like if you're
But did they blow up the sun? Because they say
Oh.
later he'll say the remains of the Alderaan system, like not just the remains of Alderaan.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
They say they toss the word system around a lot. We've
They
said
do.
that before.
They do.
Yeah,
The names are loosey goosey.
I like how trusting Luke is. Like Luke's reaction is exactly what mine would be when they say, "Oh, there's another ship," and he's like, "Oh, maybe they know what happened."
Let's ask them for a cup of sugar.
That's exactly what I would say.
What's interesting is how does Ben use the Force?
I was wondering that too.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that he does.
Because
Yeah.
he knows. It seems like he knows before Han.
Yeah, he does. And
Yeah.
they give you like if I remember, I think there's like a cello or bass, like Arco thing, like whoa,
Yeah.
and it's like when he it's like he knows,
Mhm.
he senses the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene always really confused me. Like I think what happens here is different than what I always thought.
Oh
'Cause I
wow.
always thought that Han reaches up and shoots the gun by like pulling a trigger up on the ceiling.
Oh.
But I think it's the TIE fighter shooting a warning shot over the top of him.
Oh, yeah,
And
as
he's
he
just having
passes
to
over
reach
them,
up at the
yeah.
same time. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I never saw that.
Like I always thought Han was
really
shooting
cool.
at him.
Yeah. They make a huge deal out of that guy being too far out of range. And he's like right there. You can
He's
throw a
like,
rock
yeah,
at
he's
him.
like really, yeah.
That's really weird. That's like,
Yeah.
that's us using our, 40 years past, understanding of space movies when Star Wars
Yeah.
just come out.
It's interesting though because that TIE fighter, I think normally the Empire makes really poor strategic choices, like in almost every situation.
Mm-hmm.
But this TIE fighter seems to make an excellent strategic choice.
Yeah.
Is he shoots a warning shot. He doesn't do anything to actually antagonize the Falcon. He just shoots a it's like a, hey, be careful. And then flies right past him. And so I think he knows that the Falcon's going to chase after him.
Yeah.
But that'll lure him to the place. But because he knows he has no power to do that himself.
And is that pilot's plan? Or was he to... When they get pulled into the Death Star, it doesn't sound like we got them. We got the Millennium Falcon. Like they don't know who these guys
I just think
are.
he's trolling. I think he's out trawling for any any ships in the region.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't know. But
So
it seems
are they? They
go
blew up Alderaan. Are they that now moving towards, Mos Eisley? Are they
No,
like,
no,
oh,
they're still in the-
They're just on their way. They're just going
Yeah,
to the
'cause-
next... Probably
I don't
going to
think they've even
Dantooine or
left.
something.
that's,
I don't think they've left yet because the guy says we captured the freighter that just moved out of hyperspace and the remains of the Alderaan system.
Mm-hmm.
well, and they
I
say
think they're still
a
here.
ship that has the markings of one that
Oh, yeah,
blasted
yeah.
out of Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's what's kind of interesting. It's interesting. It has the markings. Where'd they get that? Do they have like like the door camera?
Right. It's got the VIN number of a ship that blasted. its way
Yeah.
on the side.
I wonder,
Yeah.
or is there an official docking
Like
bay
like a
94?
tail sign?
Yeah, did they have
yeah.
to do that, or is it just
Oh,
like the
sure.
Millennium Falcon? When they say the markings, are they just like, oh yeah, it's this weird looking ship with the cockpit on the far right?
Right,
Yeah.
It's all messed up.
Yeah, it's all jacked up.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's a hunk of junk.
I kind of don't understand why they would not let the Falcon go though, because I feel like what they actually want is for people to see that Alderaan is gone and then go tell other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you keep capturing everyone that comes into nearby, nobody's going to find out that it's been destroyed.
Although maybe people won't know that the Death Star did it or something, and they want to. Yeah, here's a flyer about what we did to Alderaan.
Yeah, they're gonna-
Make sure you
yeah.
tell your friends.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Why does Ben suggest that Han would be better to let the fighter go?
I thought, I thought maybe it was like a, you know what? Let's spare this guy's life. He hasn't done anything to us.
Right. And
Because
he's out here on his
basically
own.
what-
He's lost. He's going to die anyway or something. Like, why bother with
Well,
him?
it's interesting because he, like Han's like, I think I can get him before he reaches that small moon. And you're like, okay, so why does Han want to kill him? Does he want to kill him just because he want to be so, cloaked that he doesn't want anyone to see him, not even just a passerby?
Yeah.
Well, and that's literally murder. Like Han would literally be murdering a guy.
Yeah.
But the
Like,
guy
there's no
did fire a warning
self-defense.
shot. Or maybe
Yeah,
it
but that's
wasn't
not-
a
you don't-
warning shot.
You don't murder a guy that fires a warning shot, but it didn't hit the like. I mean,
You
I
don't-
don't know.
Do you know if it's a warning shot or was that just his turn signal?
Oh, you don't know what it was.
It
but
does seem
seems
like he shot at them. You
think
whether it was
so?
a warning shot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I always thought so. I mean, it makes that TIE fighter blaster sound, laser sound.
No, I thought he shot, but I thought it was like a
Oh.
over the bow kind of shot.
Yeah, I mean,
But
the,
if it
the
is-
Falcon kind of reacts, it kind of rocks a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
But,
true.
uh,
That's true. So maybe it wouldn't be murder. Maybe it would be self-defense.
Yeah, but he says like, we want to make sure they don't tell anybody about us. Like he doesn't like it's an Imperial fighter. Even if nobody else
Yeah.
is around, he doesn't want them telling anybody about them.
Sure.
It's like when you think about some of these things, like in Earth human terms, they're pretty cold-blooded. Like I'm going to kill this guy so he doesn't tell anyone who we are,
Right.
or that we're smuggling these illegal passengers.
Right. I mean, and Han
Like, if
doesn't
that's
even
a
know that
story
they're
you
on
tell
like
with-
he doesn't know like what their mission is. He doesn't know who these guys
Yeah.
are. He just knows they don't want to
Yeah.
be bothered by the Empire.
Right.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't know if
what's
they're good guys or bad guys. He's just
Yeah.
Let's
But in the
kill this
way-
guy so he doesn't find out.
That makes him a fantastic courier.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
true.
don't want to
Yeah.
know. Don't tell me anything.
Yeah, but
Shut up.
Yeah.
nobody's gonna
No,
know.
I like it. I mean, this guy's he's already murdered one guy, and he's
Yeah.
willing to murder somebody else, and it's
got
kind
a
of like
taste for
Indy
blood.
in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's a darker character that he becomes a lot later on.
Yeah. He's a monster with a heart of gold. I love when Ben is like, he says the planet was destroyed by the Empire. And Han's like, the entire Starfleet couldn't destroy the whole planet. And Ben gives him just the faintest, tiniest, like almost eye roll look of like, oh yeah, I forgot. You went from one side of the galaxy to the other. Oh yeah, you're a genius space pirate. All right, whatever.
You know what's
Yeah.
really weird is that when the tractor beam gets a hold of him, Luke says, "I have a very bad feeling about this."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's Han's famous line.
Well, it's all of
I
theirs.
think a lot of
everybody
people say
says
it,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Luke was first, and then Han later in this movie, and then
Okay. I never noticed that.
Leia
I
says it in
always,
Empire, yeah.
I only associated that with Han.
oh really?
I
That's
guess,
funny.
yeah, I never noticed that Luke said that. I guess he kicked it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
really
I feel
Luke's.
like we're both learning big things about Han because I always felt like Han was somebody who would not be able to admit that he was wrong about something. But
Yeah.
he immediately here, like Ben says, whatever, and Han's like, "Yeah, I think you're right." Full reverse. Like there's
Yeah.
there's no problem at all admitting that Ben was right about this.
Yeah. Now
He's-
this moment right here is one of
Yeah.
the biggest questions I have in this movie. And Tommy, you know what I'm talking about. It's this exchange between Han and Chewie
Yeah.
where, he goes, "I think you're right." And he goes, "Chewie, lock in auxiliary power." And then you get
Chewie's like
"Rah."
reading the paperback. Yeah.
Yeah. And like a
Flatly
few
ignores
seconds
him.
goes by. Yeah, he flatly ignores him. And then he says it again. "Chewie, lock in auxiliary power."
Yeah.
And then
And then Chewie does it like with a swipe of. He's like, "All right, jeez, I did it
and you're
already.
just
So
like,
I'll do it now."
what was the first "ruh" about? I'm dying.
He's
He
saying
goes,
like,
it's
"I'll
like,
do it when I feel like it." Chewie, lock in the auxiliary power.
yeah.
All right, fine.
And he goes, "Ruh." And nothing happens. Meanwhile, they're getting pulled into the tractor beam, and you almost wonder, you know what? That's the thing. You hesitate in a moment like this, Chewbacca, 2 seconds,
This is
and
what
now
happens.
you can't get out.
Oh,
yeah.
see, I always thought he did activate the
Eventually,
auxiliary
No,
power.
eventually.
No, I thought he
Yelled
did
at.
it.
Yeah.
No, I thought he did it originally. It was just the tractor was already pulling them in.
no,
he's
so that's what that's what it seems like it's
That's
supposed
what
to
I-
be. But the actions of Chewie on the screen make it seem like he didn't do a
Okay,
thing
yeah.
the first time, and then he finally does it when Han says it again.
Now, hang on. Now, why would you write that?
I don't see. That's what I think he wrote it as Han doesn't realize that Chewie already did it because they're still moving towards it. He doesn't know about
Yeah.
the tractor beam yet. But on screen, the way Chewie acts, it looks like he just
Yeah.
ignored Han and then did it later.
That's awesome.
So does he just say it twice and Chewie like plugs in the lighter? Something
doing
like
something else,
it has
yeah.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with it.
My bagel's ready.
So maybe the first time he's like, "Chewie, lock in auxiliary power," and Chewie goes, "I did."
Yeah, lay off of
That's
me.
the first room. Yeah, and then
Always do
he's
that.
like,
yeah.
and then Han says, "Chewie, lock on auxiliary power," but he already had.
Yeah. I'll do it
That's
again.
what
Genius.
yeah.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. I actually I found today. I found my cassette copy of the Story of Star Wars record, and I on that when they're when Luke says, "Why are we still moving towards it?" I always thought that he said, "Why are we still in these floor tanks?" Because I thought that they were already under the floor, like hiding.
Whoa!
It wasn't until like the movie.
That's a complete Porterism.
Wow.
It wasn't until like it came out on video in like 80 whatever. I was like, oh okay, moving towards it. I got it.
Well, so then Han says they're not going to get me without a fight. And
Yeah.
then Ben says, you can't win, but there are alternatives to fighting. Pete, you're our resident existential philosophizing guy. What is Ben talking about? He says you can't win, but there are alternatives to fighting.
I think he's saying run. Like, I think he's going to say, because basically what Ben's plan is, when he doesn't know Princess Leia's there, is he's going to disactivate the tractor beam and the shield, and then they're just going to escape.
So you think
Yeah.
his alternative to fighting, he's sort of premonishing the fact that they're going to hide. He's
then
going
run,
to have
yeah.
to, like right now, Ben Kenobi's getting a migraine. He's like, find the tractor beam on this thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Talk to
gonna have
me.
my own thing. And then I'm gonna have to, and then only
Yeah.
then are they gonna be able to fly away.
Yeah. But there's something like I never thought about until when I was watching this a couple days ago. Tractor beam. Like, does that sound weird to you?
Yes.
It's such a farm
So,
sounding.
I mean,
like-
yes.
Yeah.
And
Well, guess
I
you're
looked it
pulling
up. I was
something.
curious. Yeah, a tractor is an engineering vehicle specifically designed to deliver a high tractive effort or torque at slow speeds,
Huh.
generally used in agriculture, mining, or construction. I was like, So I found out the guy that first used a tractor beam in print was a guy named E.E. Smith, and he had his novel was serialized in Amazing Stories, and it was originally attractor beams, like they attract. They were
Oh,
attractor
wow, that's
beams
hysterical.
and repeller beams. Yeah.
So it's
And
like
then-
apostrophe tractor when he says it or something.
Well, he shortened it himself. I don't know if he
Okay.
just liked the sound, but he changed it from a tractor beam
Oh, that's
to
funny.
tractor beam, which
Makes
is
a lot of
really weird.
sense.
I
Yeah.
kinda
Like I'd never
figured-
thought about it until this point. but that's-
No, yeah, tractor beam, like,
Oh, it's a tractor.
but you assume it's tracking your ship, and in this case, it's tracking it, but by tracking it, it also can control it.
Oh, see, I never
Oh,
thought
like-
about the tracking part.
Yeah, I thought more like a tractor pulling, like
Yeah.
hauling, like pulling a wagon or something.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it would be a tracker beam
Right.
at that point.
where we
Then,
are.
yeah,
Pointing the tracker
like
beam at us.
what your
Yeah.
mom says when she's talking about Star Wars. Is like, oh, the tracker beam.
Yeah. The PC-30 uses a tracker beam.
huh?
These
About that
approach
line though,
shots-
like I'm full power. I'm gonna have to shut down. They're not gonna get me without a fight. He says "but" in there, but I've never ever heard it, and I was always confused by that line because he says I'm full power. I'm gonna have to shut down. They're not gonna get me without a fight. I was like, wait, you just shut down. You're not fighting. You're. It's like I'm surrendering,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna get me without
Actually,
a fight.
yeah, I had that same question. I didn't hear the but either.
Yeah. I think.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
I think you can see him say it, but I don't hear it at all. Like, you can hear a little but.
Because it is weird.
What
It's
they
like,
were-
oh, let's just let them drag us in, but they're not.
Yeah, this is me fighting.
Yeah.
This is me fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. So, does the Death Star pull in all ships?
Yeah. Is it just like an automatic tractors in everything nearby?
It's like
all
always
shit.
on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering. Like kind of like this mechanical black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's-
cool if it does that.
You know, the event horizon or whatever is the
Yeah.
range of the tractor beam.
Can you imagine how expensive that would be?
Yeah.
Like-
That'd be crazy.
Wow.
Having that running all the time?
Well,
That's the
also just
Empire.
all
They're
the
good for it.
ships that you wonder all the ships that you'd pull in.
Yeah. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
just left. What are you doing back? I got
pain
caught
in
in the
the
tractor
ass.
beam. I was supposed to leave. But just turn that off.
These approach shots are incredible, though.
Oh my
Like,
God, yeah.
And these two guys
Unbelievable.
with the glowing red consoles, like the soft red glowing control panels standing out there are amazing.
Yeah. I love that. That looks like a science
Yeah.
fiction movie.
Yeah.
It's like people in a weird space station in space doing
Yeah.
weird space stuff. I
Yep.
love that.
And then I never noticed these two stormtroopers before, but the one dude, like, it looks like he's taking a selfie or something, or like he's using his phone. But then is he opening up the magnetic field?
Oh, that dude
'Cause he-
standing there?
Yeah, because he points something at the Millennium
Oh,
Falcon
he
and then, like
does.
puts it in his holster.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
And is he like the guy? It's right after the guy says we're opening the magnetic field, and you see that stormtrooper pointing something at the Falcon, and then he puts it in his like pocket.
Maybe he's doing the exact same thing that the rebel guy in the tower is doing at the end of the movie when all the or when they fly to whatever to
Oh, yeah,
Yavin,
yeah, like the
and that
radar
guy's,
detector guy.
He's got the speed
Yeah.
gun on him. Yeah, maybe he's
Yeah.
doing the exact same thing. Whatever that is.
Yeah, maybe he was opening the magnetic field.
But you know, the thing that this movie captures is the grandness of
Yeah.
spaceships and the Death Star
Yeah.
and all that. I mean, you know, the Millennium Falcon, you have an idea of the size of it, and then you see it in this shot, and it's
You're
right.
dwarfed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a very,
and the whole thing,
it's like a
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like a mini. It's like 2001 has those like
It is.
10-minute sequences of like the thing landing on
Yeah.
the moon. This is like that in like a minute or like 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, and then the shot when you see it head on coming into the docking bay,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing because it sort of reminds me of the Jaws shot, like the famous Roy Scheider like Jaws shot, like where they zoom in and pan out at the same time.
Yeah.
It's kind of that same like. It's cool, but then it like you see that hole in the front of the Falcon too.
All right, yeah, that's space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
So is that? What is that?
I think it's where the escape pods are that we learn about later.
Oh, maybe. And like people have said, logo, it's a cargo thing. You
Yeah,
shove
yeah,
giant
yeah.
containers or whatever or something.
That maybe.
Darth Vader's got a line around here that's always messed me up and always confused me because again, like you watch this movie when you're 7 or whatever, and then like that's the brain you're using to watch it like until you're about 50 or something. And he's like, and they say this is when they're talking about the ship that blasted its way out of Mos Eisley, and Vader says they must be trying to return the stolen plans to the princess. And I was as a kid and as a teenager and as like a college student and as an adult, I was like, does Vader really think that they would like get captured and have to sneak onto the Death Star and find Princess Leia in her cell and hand her the plans? That's what they're going to do? That's stupid. Why would they even do that? But then I'm like, oh wait, this movie actually makes a lot of sense. He thinks that like why they're trying to get to Alderaan is that's what they're doing.
That's awesome.
That's
So that makes
hilarious. Like they opened the detention cell. Here you go.
Don't tell nobody.
Take a look. I spilled some milk on it.
Right. I wasn't here. Bye.